Hey everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about some things that might be ruining your music video edits from a video editor's perspective. So of course, lighting, directing, cinema, that all is important, but I'm approaching it from a video editor's perspective. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, leave a like below, and go follow me on social media at Justin Odisho, and let's get started. So I'm just going to jump straight in with one of the most important points, I think, is originality. Oftentimes when I get a video sent to me to review or critique, it seems like very much inside the box of what a video should look like. So you got the same scene, the same dudes rapping in the same direction, at the same style, and the camera moving in the same way. There's nothing wrong with doing the formula that works. You don't always have to reinvent the wheel every single time. But I hope to, in this video, give you some perspective on some ways that you might not have thought that you can make a music video and it still be really good and work well. So I'm just going to actually use some examples of videos that I think are creatively done that I can recently think of in my head. So if you guys have seen the Young Thug video for Wyclef Jean, this is an amazing video when it comes to something creative that you haven't really seen often. Basically, Young Thug did not show up to this video shoot, and they still had to make the video, so the editors of the video kind of just told the story of how Young Thug did not show up to the video. It's super funny, it's super unique, and because of that, it ended up being a much more of a success than I think it would have been if Young Thug just showed up and did the usual thing. Another point about originality in music videos is that it doesn't always have to look like what you think a music video looks like. So Lil Uzi Vert's song XO Tour Life, one of the biggest hits of the year hip hop wise, it doesn't even really have a music video, and I wouldn't really consider this a music video, but what better visual could you think of to accompany that song on YouTube besides that animation loop of him just driving with that trance-inducing thing in the background. Another thing about originality is, what if the whole music video was just one continuous shot? So this Death Grips video, it's not really a music video, I don't know what it is, it's just a visual to go along with the song, and it's just them sitting in a room with a huge speaker. You can't even really tell if it's a picture or a video until they move sometimes, but I don't know, to me it's interesting. Taking it away from hip-hop rap type of world, check out some of Radiohead's videos. This one here for House of Cards, it was all made from a digital computerization of data that was collected in some way. I don't really know. Read the description of how they did it, but it's crazy. It's just it's like an art piece rather than just the band singing. So just think outside the box. Your video could literally be anything you want. It's art, it's music. You could just record paint dripping down a wall for 5 minutes along to the song. I don't know. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, but at least you can think outside the box of what's possible to be considered a good visual for a song. Number 2, and another really important one, is overdoing it with effects or effects that are not well done. So I see this a lot because I offer tons and tons of effect tutorials, and the biggest advice I would give you to not get into the habit of, every single shot has a scribble effect, or there's just a ton of strobes and flickers going throughout the video, is try to use effects a little bit more sparingly or thematically that match the overall video, and really play around to blend them in with what you're working with rather than just the stock effects. One cheesy one that I can think of off the top of my head is a badly placed strobe effect where it doesn't really match up to the music perfectly, or it's just kind of plain or boring. Strobes can be great, like look at Kanye West's music video for All of the Lights. This is a crazy strobe-inducing, seizure-inducing video, but they did it in an interesting way that where they strobed red, green, blue, purple, all different colors on the video, and it's not just like a white flash flickering and it looks really stock and default. So be careful with overdoing effects, just really heavily placing effects. This is where I'd say let the cinematography and the visuals do the work a little bit, but you can also go crazy with visual effects if they're well done and well placed and don't get visually boring. Number 3, and bringing up that Kanye West video again for All of the Lights, is bad fonts or titles. So the Kanye West video, I think, is awesome when it comes to text and titles. It's got all this amazing different neon typography flashing on the screen. But one thing you often see that could be ruining your music video is using a bad font or not doing the title well. It just immediately doesn't set the tone well. So when in doubt, you can always just go super plain, super simple, minimal font in front of the video. That rarely doesn't work. But also consider maybe instead of using the default text tools inside Premiere or your video editing program, jump inside of After Effects or draw your title out by hand and scan it and illustrate it. Like that Chainsmokers video is a great example where it was all hand-drawn effects. Or maybe consider opening up Photoshop and really making your title a typographic, graphic design type of thing. So this is a whole different world, a whole different video when it comes to what is good typography. Look up some inspirational typography online or some books, and you can start to get an idea of all the different wonderful ways that you can arrange text together, because that's a whole nother science. I'm not a master at it either, so just be careful to not have a bad title instead of no title or a minimal title. So number 4, and this is an important one as well, is color grading. So this is when sometimes you see a music video, it's too yellow or it's too blue, or they just did some weird tint to it that doesn't really look good. Color grading and color correcting are really important. It can bring out the vibrance or the certain mood and cinematic quality of your music video. But if you overdo it or don't do it well, it can be very distracting. So be careful to go too trendy, or maybe too faded is one that you often see in videos today where they lift the black or shadow point until it's almost gray and the whole video becomes washed out. But color grading is very important. I actually have, shameless plug, a cinematic color grading pack. If you've never heard of LUTs, it's a way for you to apply color grading instantly, so that might help you out for a good start. Or you can get into that Lumetri color panel and really tweak things by hand. I have tutorials for free on how to color grade and how to color correct as well. And number 5, the last thing that could be ruining your music video, and this could also be a whole separate video that I might go into, is cutting too closely to the beat or not cutting to the beat, one way or the other. Basically, every song has a certain flow and pace where you got the quiet parts and then the loud parts and then the build-up. And if you're not matching the music or the sequencing to the build-up and the pacing of the music, there's going to be kind of a disconnect. However, one trap you don't want to fall into is cutting too closely onto every beat. That can get predictable and boring. So some ways that you can avoid that is, instead of cutting on every drum hit, maybe the action in the shot happens on the drum hit, or maybe the effects that you're using are playing to the music as well. Overall, you can consider the build-up and the climax and the beginning and the end of a song and match the action that's going on in your shots as well. So those are 5 guidelines and essentials actually to editing a good music video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like below. Let me know what you thought in the comments. What do you struggle with? What do you see out there today? What are some of your favorite videos? And consider subscribing to the channel if you have not yet. I've got many editing tutorials on here to help you out. Go follow me on social media at Justin Odisho, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.